fluid. Don't understand. On defense. Never have.
Command ship. As long as I stay.
On defense mechanism. Never am fluid.
Command.
Don't understand. On defense. Never have.
Command ship. As long as I stay.
On defense mechanism. Never am fluid.
Command.
Don't understand.
No, wait!
On defense. Never have.
Command ship. As long as I stay. You made it.
On defense mechanism. On defense mechanism.
Feel the conflict within you. Let go of your hate.
Never have.
No, wait!
On defense. Don't understand.
Command ship.
Let go of your hate.
There. You made it.
Am fluid. Never have.
No, wait!
On defense. Don't understand.
Command ship.
Let go of your hate.
There. You made it.
Am fluid. Never have.
No, wait!
On defense. Don't understand.
Command ship.
Let go of your hate.
There. You made it.
Am fluid. Never am fluid.
Command.
Don't understand. On defense. Never have.
Command ship. As long as I stay.
Am on defense mechanism. Never am fluid.
Command.
Don't understand.
No, wait!
On defense. Never have.
Command ship. As long as I stay. You made it.
Am on defense mechanism.
There.
Never am fluid.
Command.
Don't understand. On defense. Never have.
Command ship. As long as I stay.
Let go of your hate.
Am on defense mechanism. Never am fluid.
Command.
Don't understand.
No, wait!
On defense. Never have.
Command ship. As long as I stay. You made it.
Am on defense mechanism.
There.
What's going on, guys? Happy, what is it? What is today? Wednesday. So, this is gonna be a little hangout. I've been super busy lately since I saw The Last Jedi. I haven't had time to do any streams, and I feel like it's been long enough to, let me turn down this music. Is it a little too loud for you guys? There we go. Is that better? Can you guys still hear the music? Is it not blowing me out? Alright. So I feel like it's been long enough. You know, if I put spoiler warnings in the title of this video, or this stream, you can tell it's been a while since I've streamed. And by a while, I mean like 2 weeks? Maybe? How long has it been? I'm not too sure. Yeah, I figured it's been long enough. Now we can chit-chat about, about The Last Jedi. Yeah, holy shit, this spam, no kidding, pal. But how's everybody doing? Fun Disco, Cubby Jack, Johnny Barber, Retro Dude, Chris Lawson, Fun Disco once again, JH Productions, Mr. Palpameme, Michael Gressley, Mysterious, Air Pokemon Naruto 22, Sea Lion Studios, Tanessa, Jacob cannot, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that, man. I apologize. But yeah, what do you guys think? Overall, I mean, you guys have probably seen my reviews now, right? I've got a lot of people watching, and a lot of goddamn spam there. Holy shit. Yeah, so I liked The Last Jedi. Yes, I have a lot of issues with it. As you guys probably watched my reviews, you kind of know how I feel. Was I a bit disappointed? Not necessarily with the story. I like the story. I like the way they handled the characters. A lot of people are bummed out about that, but I went in with no expectations. I did not care what they did with, like, obviously I love Luke Skywalker, right? But going in blank, going in with a wiped mind, not having any expectations where these characters are going to go, I think that was the way to do it. You know, a lot of people put their ideas out there and kind of had it built up in their head what it was going to be. And The Last Jedi certainly subverted all those expectations. But yeah. So how's it going, everybody? This chat is insane. I have not seen it like this yet. So, do you think Snoke is really dead? Because look at what? Because look at what? This is not my name. Yes, I would say Snoke is dead. Please don't let those fucking theories come. Please don't please don't let those Snoke theories come back. Please. Is that going to be the new thing? Snoke isn't really dead. He's going to come back with robot legs, like Darth Maul. Is that what it's going to be now? Really? Is that now? What's up, Ollie? The story was fantastic, just poorly executed. I apologize if I don't get to your names. The chat is going super fast. I agree in certain spots. The first third, I mean, you guys have heard me talk about this now, but I felt like the first third was pretty goddamn messy. And from the very beginning, when the movie started and we see Poe flying around the dreadnought, you know, and then there's that gag with like the "Can you hear me now?" kind of thing, and he's pretending like, you know, he can't hear Hux and all that. It was a little. It gave me a little chuckle the first time, and then it went on for like 3 or 4 more times. I don't know. It kind of set the tone for me that this was going to be a more goofy Star Wars movie than I was hoping for. Because in The Force Awakens, they set Hux up, and you know, he was this menacing agent of the First Order, and then they open up The Last Jedi, and he's like a slapsticky kind of figure. And I don't mind that so much when he's being dealt with from Snoke. Like when Snoke pops up in the hologram and slams Hux down on the ground and drags him around and spins him around. That was a pretty cool scene. But overall, opening up like that, it kind of put a sour taste in my mouth at the very beginning of the film, if that makes sense. Rose was a trash character, Connor McGamer. I would disagree about that. I don't think her character was trash. I think the events around the character were trash. I think the whole Canto Bight plot was... I mean, I get why it's there. Like I've said, I get why it's there, but it did nothing for me. It was so over the top with spectacle and stuff like that, especially when they start riding those space dinosaur or space horses, space donkeys, whatever the fuck they were. It was just like, what am I watching? I know I'm being super negative right now. I'm just reading comments, but overall, I liked the movie. I did. I didn't love it. I liked it. You know, Canto Bight was goofy, fun disco. Yeah. How would you? Oh my god, the chat. Let me see if I can. Oh, let me see if I can change this chat up a little bit. Maybe not. I know there's a way to slow down the chat.
You seek Yoda. You know him? Take it to him, alien.
The Force will be with you. Always.
What did you think of the new BF2 DLC story? Open mouth smile.
Nice. Hey, I just minimized. Let me bring everything back up. I was trying to figure out this this chat thing. Who was that? Who was that? Hey, the movie critic dude. First super chat of the stream. I greatly appreciate that, man. I truly do. The robot read it, but I'm going to read it too. What did you think of the new Battlefront 2 DLC story? I have not played it yet. I read Mitch, what's his name? Mitch Dreyer, the writer for the Battlefront 2 story. He basically, before The Last Jedi came out, he basically said, in his opinion, you shouldn't play the Battlefront 2 DLC until you have seen the movie. Now that I've seen the movie, I'll probably hop back in, but I need to play the actual main game's campaign on a stream first. I want to do that and then jump into the Battlefront 2 DLC single-player campaign. So I have not played it yet. I don't know anything about it. I'm looking forward to it though. The campaign, the original campaign was all right. It was okay, but I don't know. Mark Hamill's acting was the best yet. 100% agree. He knocked it out of the fucking park, man. He was one of the best aspects of the entire film, by far. By far, it was fantastic.
The Force will be with you. Always.
Oh.
I thought of you when Luke died. The Force theme.
Nice. Yeah, I need to. There we go. As you can see, I put my overlay. Damn it, that sucks. Oh well, whatever. Let me get to these super chats. Johnny the Fett. Oh.
With you. Always.
Do you believe in the Reylo theory?
Give me 1 sec, Darth. Johnny the Fett, thank you so much for the super chat donation and the channel support. I thought of you when Luke died. The Force theme. It was a beautiful moment. It was. Oh, 1 sec.
Always.
1. How do we evaluate Rey and Kylo as strength with no one around? Ro compare them to? For example, would Maul beat them, for example?
Hey, the Wolfman, thank you so much. Give me 1 second, guys. Johnny the Fett. Yeah, that scene was beautiful. Becoming one with the Force, staring at twin suns, kind of reminiscent. Obviously reminiscent of A New Hope, my favorite scene in any Star Wars movie ever. Tatooine, the twin suns. But I appreciate you thinking about me during that, man. It was a beautiful moment. The look on his face when when he disappeared on Crate and the camera went to him on... Let me turn this music down a little bit more. Went to him on Octu, and he's got like tears in his eyes. He's struggling. And then he just succumbs. He becomes one with the Force. It was a very beautiful moment. Very beautiful. But thank you so much for the super chat, Johnny, and thanks for thinking of me. That's sweet. That's sweet. Darth Revan, thank you so much for the super chat as well. Do you believe in the Reylo theory? Reylo, like Rey and Kylo? I don't really look into theories that much, man. I don't, to tell you the truth. I think I've heard of this one back in the day after The Force Awakens came out. I'm not familiar with it. Let me look it up real quick. Hey, Connor, thank you so much for being the silent supporter. I greatly appreciate that. Give me 1 sec. Reylo theory. Here we go. That's a weird image that popped up.
The Force will be with you. Always.
I'll have to read this. I'll have to read this later, man. But yeah, you guys know me. If you're familiar with the channel, I don't dive into theories. I don't get a kick out of any of that kind of stuff for whatever reason. Because most of the time they don't come true, right? Most of the time, and dude, what's hilarious is like all the channels that had these clickbaity leaked script, leaked whatever, leaked this, leaked that for the past 2 years, and none of it came true. Are people gonna continue to watch those channels? Like, for 2 years they just put out bullshit. I don't get it, man. It's weird as fuck to me. But Darth, I appreciate that channel support and the super chat donation. Unfortunately, I do not know anything about that theory. And the Wolfman, how do we evaluate Rey and Kylo's strength with no one around to compare them to? For example, would Maul beat them, for example? Well, you can compare their strengths to one another, right? I mean, how can you compare... I don't know. How can you compare Vader in the original trilogy with no one around him to compare him to? It's kind of the same deal.
What do you think about the Lightspeed scene visually?
Arcadia, give me 1 sec, man. Thank you so much. No, I don't feel like that's an issue whatsoever. Rey and Kylo's strength are going to be, they're going to be pitted against one another, and we'll see. I guess in the end, who's the strongest? I don't know. For example, would Darth Maul beat them? I don't know if... man, we got a lot of chat. Give me 1 sec.
Does the fact that Rey stole the books undermine Yoda's message about ending the Jedi? Or is this just classic Yoda lying, playing a trick on Luke?
Who was that? I'll get to the super chats in a sec, man. But yeah, the Wolfman, I don't know. Is it really important that we compare their strengths to anyone else? You know, for me, I like the plot to play out and not really think about the strengths aspect. I don't really look at Star Wars characters like, is he a level 8 Jedi? Is he a level 11 Jedi in MMO terms? I don't really look at Star Wars like that. I don't know. I don't know if it's to compare strengths. That's not really something that I do that often. I mean, you can look at past Star Wars movies and you can make the same argument, you know? How do we know about Luke's strengths if there's nowhere in there to compare him to, and other than Vader? You know, it's kind of the same deal. But I appreciate that channel support, Wolfman. And Arcadia, what do you think about the Lightspeed scene visually? I thought that was one of the most beautiful scenes in the movie by far. One of the more interesting scenes in all of Star Wars. It felt like something out of a different kind of sci-fi movie, if that makes sense. I love the idea of it. A lot of people are complaining about it because, you know, why aren't all weapons light speed weapons? You know what I mean? Chris Lawson, thank you so much, man. Give me 1 sec. But no, visually, I thought it was beautiful. The way the sound just cut out, it was beautiful. The lights, the black background contrasted with the white of the light speed and the burning of the ships.
Updates on your Twitter. Open mouth smile.
Nice, the movie critic, dude. Give me 1 sec, man. But Arcadia, I truly appreciate that super chat donation. Visually, it was stunning. Absolutely goddamn stunning.
Is basically they fall in love and balance the dark and the light in their own ways, such as yin and yang, the perfect balance.
I see what you're saying. Give me 1 sec. I'll get to the super chats. Richard Vaughan. Vaughan, I apologize for butchering your name. If I did butcher your name, or maybe I just pronounced it perfectly.
With you. Always.
Richard, does the fact that Rey stole the books undermine Yoda's message about ending the Jedi, or is this classic Yoda lying, playing a trick on Luke? Well, doesn't he say something like, there's nothing in there that the girl doesn't already have? So I think he knows that Rey took the books. I'm seeing the movie again for a third time on Friday. I'll have to pay attention to that line a little bit more. But if I remember correctly, doesn't he say something like that? I feel like he says something like that. There's like, what does he say? He says something, yeah, he says something like there's nothing in there, or there's nothing that you're looking for that the girl doesn't already have. So, no, I love the Yoda scene. He was toying with Luke a little bit, but when Luke kind of calmed down and whatnot, Yoda became a stoic Yoda, like in The Empire Strikes Back. He starts off goofy, he's fucking around with Luke, he's putting on a front, right? He's pretending to not be this wise Jedi Master. And he likes to have some fun, it seems. And in The Last Jedi, he's toying around with Luke once again. And then when it gets a little serious, they both sit down, they have a little conversation. It was a beautiful moment. I really appreciated that little Yoda scene in there.
Always.
TLJ was a cinematic YouTube reply to plot points they made important. Tell a story, not address the fans. They broke the fourth wall. It felt cheap.
Hey, some guy, I'll get to that in 1 second. Chris Lawson, thanks for the silent support, man. The movie critic dude, once again, thank you for the super chat donation, the robot Reddit, and I'm going to read it too. Saw my DA commission update on your Twitter. No, I haven't seen that yet. I'll have to check that out. Let me pull up Twitter real quick.
What about Knights of Ren?
Philippe, thank you so much, man. I need to turn off some notifications and whatnot. Let me see here. All right. There we go. No, I'll have to read these word bubbles in a sec, movie critic dude, after the stream, but I'll retweet that out in a bit. I appreciate that, man. That's so cool. If you guys don't know, movie critic dude always like commissions these neat little art pieces from what's the website? Dead something. Deviant Art, right? Yeah, there's an artist on Deviant Art that he always commissions artists from. It's kind of neat. All right, let me figure something out real quick before I go any further. Try to figure out how to put slow-mo chat on.
Always.
Hi, I am a huge fan. Do you think Luke should have used his green lightsaber in present day? And do you think Snoke will return in episode 9?
Give me 1 sec, guys. I'm going to try to figure something out here.
The Force will be with you. Always.
Do you believe Akbar should have been the one to sacrifice himself for the remains of the Resistance instead of Holdo?
I'm trying to figure out how to get the slow-mo. Let me Google it. Let me Google that for you. Slow-mo chat YouTube. Because a goddamn. Enable live chat. Enable slow-mo.
With you. Always.
maybe I have to do it once the I think I might actually have to do it before the stream starts.
Always.
Thoughts on people trashing Rian Johnson. Last Jedi is not perfect, but I love it. 8/10. It breaks my heart seeing people so rude to him for a movie.
It's a bummer, man. Give me 1 sec. I'll get to the super chats. This is chaos. This is the first time this channel has ever gone through this. Ah! I'm just joking. I'm good. 1137. We have 1137 watching. We might get to 1138 watching. Darth Revan, the Reylo theory is basically they fall in love and balance the dark and the light in their own ways, such as yin and yang, the perfect balance. I don't know about the fall in love part, but I thought they were going to kind of balance each other out by joining forces and starting something new. It's a cool theory. I don't think Disney will do something like that. I think we're going to get just a basically Rebels versus the Empire again with different names, you know. Yeah, I don't think they'll do something like that. Kylo Ren's a monster, and I love him. He's one of my new favorite Star Wars characters ever. He's so deep. There's so much depth to him, so much levels to explore. I find him fascinating. Whenever he was on the screen, I was invested so much, more so than any other character, I feel, in the movie. Kylo Ren knocked it out of the park for me. Untitled Evil, thank you so much for the silent support, man. Some guy. The Last Jedi was a cinematic YouTube reply to plot points they made important. Tell a story, not address the fans. They broke the fourth wall. It felt cheap. Well, that's an interpretation. I would say that's. Oh, 1 sec.
Always.
People did not like Empire when it first came out. I wonder if TLJ will be the same. Good to see y'all again, Greedo.
Hey, Cole. Thank you so much, man. That's an interpretation, some guy, that it broke the fourth wall. I mean, I get that. The thing is, the emphasis on certain things was definitely put there was more emphasis put on by the fans than the script put on. I feel that way, without a doubt. For example...
I put on my HelloGreedo shirt for the Last Jedi open mouth smile.
Give me 1 sec, guys. I'm going to check out Ollie's thingamajig.
The Force will be with you. Always.
According to Rian Johnson, BB-8 says, I have a bad feeling about this in the very beginning of the film.
There we go. I think I got it.
The Force will be with
yeah,
you.
some guy. I get that. I'm not mad about it. I don't feel that way about it, to tell you the truth. I think the emphasis was put on by the fans a lot for certain plot points. And I think they addressed them the best way they could. I appreciated it, at least. You know, I appreciated them taking it in a direction that most people didn't expect. I think that's pretty ingenious, in my opinion. You know, everybody's emphasis was on Rey's lineage. Well, it didn't really matter. It actually matters more than if she was a Skywalker. Now, anybody can be a Jedi, right? Anybody is Force sensitive.
The Force will be with
If you have the special in you, you can be special. You don't have to come from lineage. Snoke, a lot of people thought Snoke was super important, and he was, but his importance was for Kylo Ren's character arc. He was there for Kylo Ren. I don't know. I appreciated what they did. Cole Schreiber, I'm going to have to go quick here. People did not like Empire when it first came out. I wonder if The Last Jedi will be the same. Good to see you again, Greedo. Good to see you as well, Cole. I feel that way. I think once the initial shock of people's expectations being vastly subverted, people will start to appreciate the movie more over time, especially when, like, kids, you know, we all saw the old movies when we were young. When these kids are able to grow up, I think they'll have a lot. Somebody will make a Hello Kylo channel. If somebody's making that right now, I fucking guarantee it. Somebody just made Hello Kylo. And they'll talk about how good these movies are. But thanks for the super chat, Cole. I appreciate that. The movie critic dude, I put on my HelloGreedo shirt for The Last Jedi. That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. I really appreciate that. That just blows my mind, knowing that a lot of people have HelloGreedo shirts, and that they're out there somewhere in the world. I'm sure you weren't the only one wearing a HelloGreedo shirt, and that's not like a what's the word? That's not an ego thing, but I just think it's so neat that some goofy designs I put on a website, people are wearing. This is like the coolest thing ever. Storm, thank you so much for the super chat. According to Ryan Johnson, BB8 says, I have a bad feeling about this in the very beginning of the film. That's cool. I've heard people like bummed out that wasn't in the movie, verbally said. It didn't bother me at all. You know, honestly, whenever I hear that in new Star Wars movies, I kind of go, yeah, I mean, I get it. Does it need to be in every Star Wars movie? Was it in every prequel? Was it? I'm not too sure. I have no idea. But that's cool. That's a cool little thing, Storm. You know what? There's going to be a lot of talking in this, and I need something to drink, so I'm walking to my kitchen right now.
I think it would have been interesting watching an underdog.
Getting myself a little, you know what? Little Gatorade. How about a little Gatorade? How about, oh, you hear all those beers clanking? Actually, I only have 2 beers in the fridge.
The Force will be with you, always.
I'm just adding fuel to the fire. Gotta keep up.
I don't even know if you guys can still hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? The range on this headset is not too good. So, alright. I'm back. Back again. Here we go. And thanks again, Storm. Johnny the Fett, thank you so much. Massive G is clickbait and full of BS. Stay away. I don't know what Massive G is, but all right. I guess everybody thanks for the warning, I suppose, huh? Tidy Wire, thank you for the super chat, man. People are going to love this movie within a year. Hopefully. Hopefully. I mean, for me, I like The Force Awakens more 2 years later. I watch it, and it's a nice, fun ride, you know? I liked it when I first saw it, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I think it'll grow on people. I do believe that. There's a weird, nervous feeling. I don't know about you guys. Maybe it's just because this goofy channel. But there's a weird, nervous feeling I have when I walk into a new Star Wars movie. It's like I almost try to pick it apart too much instead of just sitting down and riding the roller coaster, you know. No, I think it'll grow on people, Tidy. Cancer Cell 101, thank you so much for the super chat. No one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fandom, period. There's a lot of divisiveness in the fandom, and it's really goofy, man. It's fine to not like movies. I actually just wrote a video,
The Force will be with
and I wrote this video before I started streaming, and I'm going to upload it tomorrow. It's basically called It's Okay to Not Like a Star Wars Movie. And it's just, all it says, and I can't believe I have to fucking make this video, but it says, it's okay to hate a Star Wars movie. It's okay to love a Star Wars movie. It's okay to just like a Star Wars movie. It's okay to be disappointed with a Star Wars movie. It's okay to feel however you're feeling about The Last Jedi. It's okay. That's kind of how it starts. Yeah. People need to stop being assholes and realize that watching a movie is a very subjective experience. What you get out of it, someone else won't get out of it. And what they get out of it, you might not get out of it, you know? Commander Creed, thank you so much for the super chat. I also want to ask, what did you think of the fight scene with the Praetorian guards? Well, Commander, I think it was one of the most well done, well executed fight scenes in the entire saga. There was weight to it. Whenever I see Kylo Ren fight, I'm just fascinated by his fighting style. His lightsaber feels heavy. He's a very I'm sure it's modeled after a real life fighting style. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. But
Captain Phasma would have more
just the way he moves, it's very broad but fluid, very heavy but fluid. I love it. So yeah, that fight scene, fantastic. They knocked it out of the park. That entire sequence with Snoke and the Praetorian guards, And Kylo Ren trying to get Rey on his side. Fantastic.
The Force will be with
Spider
you.
Storm Films.
Kylo
Hi, I'm
Ren
such a
left
huge
to
fan.
replace
Do you think
Snoke
Luke
as
should
Reylo.
have used his green lightsaber in present day? And do you think Snoke will return in Episode 9? To answer the second part of your question, no, I don't think he will return in Episode 9. And I hope he doesn't return in Episode 9. He's not important anymore. I know everybody wants to know his backstory, but this is a story about Kylo Ren and Rey. That is this story. That is what this trilogy is about. Kylo Ren served his purpose. Now, Snoke... I'm talking too fast. Snoke served his purpose. Kylo Ren is now supreme leader. He's the man in charge. He's the biggest adversary. So no, I don't think Snoke will return. He served his purpose. Do I think Luke should have used his green lightsaber in present day? Do I think that he should have used it? No, I don't really play that game. It's whatever the writers want to write. It's whatever the director wants to put in the film. You know, if they didn't want Luke Skywalker to be swinging his green lightsaber, which is my favorite lightsaber in the entire saga. I love Luke's green saber. That's my favorite.
The Force will be with you.
Would I have loved to see it? Yeah, obviously. But if it's not what they wanted to put in the story, I'm cool with it. I firmly believe that writers and directors, no matter how much we grab onto the story, no matter how much we love the material that came before it, I want the writers to have the freedom to do what they want with the story. That's how you get innovation. It's a trial and error process. If some people don't like it, so be it. If some people like it, that's great. But you need that trial and error unless everything becomes stagnant and predictable. So, yeah. Brian Lebert, do you think Mark Hamill was told Luke was going to die? In the post-premiere interview, he looked so sad and broken. Yeah, obviously he would read the script before doing the movie. So yeah, I'm sure he was told that he was going to die. People have sent me this video about Mark Hamill talking about how he didn't like Luke at first in this movie, yada, yada, yada. And I've said for 2 years, or since Mark Hamill said that in an interview, maybe a year ago, he said something similar to that. I said it doesn't matter what an actor wants to do with their character. It matters what the writers want to do with the character. You know what I mean? That's what matters. The writers control what the character does, where the character goes. Mark Hamill is a fan. He's a fantastic actor as well. He's a fan of Star Wars. But it's up to the writers, you know? But I'm sure he was told he was going to die. I believe that. YTP Mania, love your channel, Greedo. How would you rate all the movies now with Episode 8 being released? Let me go to my Twitter. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, this is a good opportunity for me to say, follow me on Twitter. All right, let me read you guys my list. Okay, let me take a sip of green Gatorade. Alright, so my order as of right now, and if you guys know my Twitter, I said this shit changes all the time. I'm very wishy-washy, but alright, goes. Whew. Personal preference. Come at me. A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, The Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One, and Attack of the Clones. That is my order. You can see it if you scroll down on my Twitter. On my Twitter? On my Twitter. Goose Saber. Gus Saber. Is that a mix between your name Gus and Lightsaber? Do you think they will make a Star Wars movie with ultra... what just happened to it? Ultra powerful Force users like Snoke fighting each other without lightsabers. Not in this trilogy. I don't believe they will. I think that's better served for something else. I want... These movies are pretty grounded. You know, they're pretty grounded.
No solo trailer during TLJ.
there's not a lot of
Flashback.
like just I don't know, flippy doos and force lightning and pulling shit all over the place and stuff like that. There's not a lot of like crazy force powers. They're grounded, which I like. I like a subdued force. I don't like the force being like I don't know. I don't even know what to like. I don't know. Wizarding World of Harry Potter. I don't like it like that. I like my force subdued. So no, I don't think they'll do that. At least with this trilogy. Maybe they'll do it in the next Rian Johnson trilogy. I really don't know. Clayton Fioriti. Hey man, love your stuff. Objectively, I think that the film is okay, but I subjectively hate how they altered Luke's character. Was it necessary? Well, it was necessary for the story they wanted to tell. You know, I liked how Luke was portrayed, how Luke was given to us. I mean, we all think that Luke is some stoic Jedi, which he was. You know, we don't know what he's been up to or you know, what he's thinking now. People change. So no, I really liked how Luke's character was. Apprehensive at first, grew into it, met up with Yoda, came back to save the day. I appreciated what they did with Luke. They could have played it safe. They could have played it very safe and just had Luke be this stoic dude who ended up having super lightsaber fights and shooting lightning and doing all this stuff. But no, they kept him subdued. He was on Octu, on the island, meditating at the end. I thought it was beautiful. I thought he was beautifully well done. Koba, no Wilhelm scream. Interesting. I'll have to keep an ear out on Friday when I see it again. And I'll have to read if that's true. That's very surprising.
Overall,
that's the first Star Wars movie without a Wilhelm scream, right? First Star Wars anything without a Wilhelm scream. I've heard it a couple times in the Clone Wars. I heard it in the holiday special, obviously. Interesting. Brian Pimentel. How do you feel about the good guys becoming the underdogs again? Personally, I think it would have been interesting watching an underdog First Order. Well, in both of my reviews, I kind of talked about how it's a little bit of a bummer that that it's gone back to the Empire vs. Rebels thing. I thought they were going to do something different, but that's where they played it safe for sure at the end of the film. It would have been neat to see, I guess, an underdog First Order, like the rebellion becomes the powerful army and goes in and tries to wipe out the underdogs. That would have been an interesting twist. But now things seem to be... The First Order is bigger than the rebellion or the resistance, whatever the hell they're going to call it in the next movie. But at the same time, it feels a little even because they hinted at the end of this movie that they put out like a distress signal to all their allies and whatnot, but nobody was coming. I think the next movie is going to have all of those allies that they put the distress signal out to coming and helping out. You know, it's going to be like at the end of, Return of the King? Or no, what movie? What Lord of the Rings movie was that? When this huge army comes and saves the day. I'm rambling. But yeah. Nine Nut, what's up, Ollie? I'm just adding fuel to the fire. Got to keep it up. All right. Yeah, I only got like an hour, maybe an hour and a half at top. I need to go quicker. Rage Face, how do you feel about Finn and Rose kissing? Oh, it was a little wonky, a little goofy. I'm all for kissing in Star Wars, you know? Han and Luke, little kissing. Chewbacca, Han and Luke. Han and Leia, little kissing. Luke and Chewie, I'm just joking. There was no Luke and Chewie kissing. I'm all for it. But it felt a little forced. And the line that Rose said was a little cheesy. I did not like how Rose came and saved the day. I thought it would have been like a beautiful self-sacrifice for Finn to Independence Day that shit right into the alien spaceship. Hello, boys, I'm back. I thought that would have been awesome. But yeah. The Wolfman, once again, will RJ still get new trilogy after the Last Jedi reception? I hope so. I'm excited to see a Rian Johnson fresh slate, you know? See what he does with a brand new trilogy. If I had to guess, I think they will keep Rian Johnson in the director's chair for the new trilogy, at least Yeah, I think they will. I think they'll keep him around. Nicholas Vidal, why do you think people thought Captain Phasma would have more screen time? Well, Nicholas, I think, with Captain Phasma, let me take a sip. With Captain Phasma, the script isn't to blame. People were bummed out that Captain Phasma, like you said, they thought they would have more screen, or she would have more screen time. I think what's to blame with that was the marketing of The Force Awakens. They pumped up this Captain Phasma character. She was barely in the movie. She didn't really do anything. She looks cool. So I thought... So blame the marketing for that. If they didn't have all the marketing for Phasma, have Gwendolyn Christie on the press circuit, have all these Captain Phasma toys and stuff like that.
Do you think Disney is
I don't think people's expectations for her being majorly in the movie would be that high. I mean, she's not a very important character, right? I mean, she's there for Finn to defect, and Finn ultimately gets his revenge on her, but overall, she was just there, I guess, for Finn's arc. I really don't know. It wasn't necessary to have her in the movie anymore, because it would have just been like another side story that wasn't important. We already had too many side stories that weren't important, right? Mike 1994. Kylo powerful enough to replace Snoke this early. Hey, who said? Who knows? Kylo maybe is a little more reckless than Snoke. He's a little obviously he's a little batshit. He's a little angry. He likes to scream. So maybe the First Order will be a little more chaotic without a stoic, calm man on the throne. Now it's controlled by a creature in a mask. A child in a mask. So I think it'll be pretty interesting. Kylo is the most powerful person in the Force, in the First Order at the moment, so what choice do they have, If anybody tries to defect, if Hux tries to go against him, he's pretty much toast. I'm surprised Kylo didn't kill Hux at the end. I'm very surprised. Backyard Productions, will the ghost of Vader confront Kylo Ren? I doubt it. I don't think they'll do that. I don't think they'll do that. People have been talking about plot holes and stuff like that, but Star Wars has always had plot holes, right? Right? I mean, why hasn't the ghost of Vader already talking? Why hasn't he talked to Ben Solo already? This is not the only Star Wars movie with plot holes, folks. You got to look at all the other ones, too. They are chock full of plot holes. But Backyard, I do not think that will happen. I don't think so. Obviously, that's me speculating. Don't listen to me. It could happen as easily as it doesn't happen. Barty, I just want to say that your second review was good. Well, I appreciate that, Barty, very much. Thank you. Koba, Snoke was just like the Emperor in the original trilogy. Yeah, I mean, people didn't know anything about the Emperor in the original trilogy. He was this just menacing bad guy, right? Snoke was the menacing bad guy in this. And then later on, people learned a lot about the Emperor. We learned about Palpatine. There's all this EU stuff. There's these the books and the comics and everything. That's how people knew the backstory of the Emperor. That's how they're probably going to find out about the backstory with Snoke. But Snoke served the purpose that he needed to serve in this film, in the same way that the Emperor served his purpose in the original trilogy. Barty, they still killed the two most interesting characters. I think the two most interesting characters in the film are Kylo Ren and Rey. They had the most emphasis in the film, I disagree that they killed the two most interesting characters. The two most interesting characters are the two new characters who we're going to be following for the remainder of the trilogy. That's who I'm interested in, at least. Rey and Kylo. Rey is the new hope. She is A New Hope. And Kylo, I'm just excited to see them butt heads. Their whole dynamic was perfect to me. I loved it. I did. I loved it. The movie critic dude, thoughts when Kylo destroyed his mask in the elevator. I love Kylo Ren, movie critic dude. No, yeah, that was great. When he was basically being mocked by Snoke. You're a child in the mask. Take that ridiculous thing off. It's kind of it's poking at all the Star Wars costumes in a way. Like, why does this dude need this mask? And then in Kylo Ren fashion, he just gets pissed off, slammed in the elevator. I love Kylo Ren when he's angry Kylo Ren. It's fun to watch. But yeah, I liked it, man. Cap Coldblood, what's up, Cap? When will the Patreon Q&A stream happen, and how will it work with my Discord situation? I feel cut off from the community without Discord. I plan on doing the Patreon Q&A tomorrow morning. And I will make that a supporter-only stream. So it doesn't go super chaotic. It'll be a supporter-only stream. And I will be going and answering all the Patreon questions. And how will it work with my Discord situation? I feel kind of cut off from the community without Discord. I'll have to talk to the mods, man. I trust my mods. They're my eyes and ears. There's a collective. It's not a dictatorship. It's a democracy in the Discord server among the mods. There's nobody gets banned without or muted or anything like that, without a consensus, without a vote almost. We'll figure it out though. Yeah, but if you hop on the stream, you'll still be able to watch the stream. You'll be good to go. And I'll be answering your question. I saw one of your questions on Patreon, so I'm looking forward to doing that. So yeah, tomorrow morning, Patreon live Q&A. Probably be a long time. It might be like a 3-hour stream, so. The Wolfman, no solo trailer during The Last Jedi. Will it be pushed back? I doubt it will be pushed back, man. They've been pretty good about deadlines. Yeah, I don't know. I think if it was going to be pushed back, it would have already been announced that it was going to be pushed back. I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say that we'll see a Han Solo trailer maybe during the Super Bowl. Maybe a trailer during the Super Bowl. But yeah, I don't even remember what trailers played for The Last Jedi. I was just too hyped for the movie. And I guess it's different theater to theater, because the theater that I watched it the second time had completely different trailers. What's next? Would you rather see Rian Johnson's Episode 1 or Episode 9? I don't know. I guess I would probably rather see Rian Johnson's Episode 9, because he obviously, he wrote this movie, but he no doubt has an idea for Episode 9 already in his head, So I would like to see where the next Rian Johnson Star Wars movie in this trilogy would go. I think that would be a really fascinating thing to see. So if I had to pick whether or not he directed Episode 1, I guess redid it, or Episode 9, I would pick Episode 9. Ryan Harp! What's up, Ryan? Good to see you, man. Overall, I enjoyed The Last Jedi. I liked it, but I didn't love it. On to Episode 9, Super Chat spam. Super Chat spam. I'm trying to get to him, man. I'm gonna tell my wife I'm gonna stream a little longer, so I got maybe 40 minutes left. Overall, I enjoyed The Last Jedi. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I feel the same way. I really liked it. I did. I didn't love it. I loved it in terms of where they took the characters, what happened in the film, minus the Canto Bight plot, which, that's a pretty general consensus. Everybody kind of agrees that the Canto Bight plot was a little, meh. But, yeah, I liked it. Didn't love it. Same with you, Ryan. And on to Episode 9. I have no idea what the hell they're going to do now. It's just going to be Empire versus Rebels again, right? It didn't really I mean, the band is back together, I suppose. They're all together now, so maybe they'll be on the run in the next film. I really don't know. I really have no idea. But thanks, Ryan. It's good to see you, too. Kyle McGowan. Thank you so much for the super chat donation and the channel support. The robot read it. I'm assuming I have my volume down because it was chaotic, but I'm going to read it too. Why did Luke suddenly seem to believe the Jedi should still be a thing towards the end of the movie? And don't Kylo and Luke seem to agree on all this ending? Seems like a big plot hole to me.
The Force will be with you.
Yeah, Luke... It wasn't just that he thought it should end, or he thought it should come back at the end. He seemed to be conflicted as well. Just, I mean, like you said, Kylo and Luke, they're both very conflicted. Basically, because of this event that happened to both of them, they both had a very different way of telling the story, which I found interesting. I love that aspect of it. But I don't know. Luke seemed to be conflicted throughout, and then the catalyst, the thing that pushed him over the edge to kind of changing his tune and wanting to help out was probably, I don't know, a little bit of Leia, a little bit wanting to save his sister. But the biggest thing was Yoda. I would say Yoda was the biggest game changer in changing Luke Skywalker. There's so many characters. I can't get them straight. My mouth doesn't move as fast, but I think Yoda was the biggest game changer for why Luke Skywalker changed his tune in the end. Yeah, I don't really see that as a plot hole. It could have been interesting to have Luke team up with Kylo and want things to end, but you know, Luke said he's only seen this power once before. I can't remember the quote. I can't remember what the quote is. He wasn't scared of it then. He's scared of it now. Something like that. I don't know. But, I mean, there's a lot of what-ifs with this movie, right? Everybody has their own, well, I wish this would have happened. What if this would have happened? What if, well, it didn't happen, you know? But overall, I liked what they did with Luke. I liked that he kind of came back and saved the day in this really interesting force projection thing that we're getting in Star Wars now, which I find very fascinating, and I hope they explore that more in Episode 9. Johnny the Fett. Dreadnought scene. Bombs don't drop in space. Well, yeah. Bombs don't drop in space. X-Wings don't bank in space. There's no atmosphere in space. There's a lot of things in Star Wars. If you're watching Star Wars like you're watching Star Trek, this is space fantasy, you know? It was, the original trilogy and Star Wars space combat has always mirrored, like, World War II dogfighting. And that's kind of always been the way they've made Star Wars space combat. Looking at World War II footage and stuff like that. At least the original trilogy, that's what Lucas said. That's kind of what he went off of. I like the scene. I don't nitpick it that way. I think it's kind of neat that the whole sequence was pretty cool. There was a lot of tension there. I liked the visuals of it. You know, all the bombers are getting absolutely decimated. And then this one sole bomber drops and saves the day. It was a cool sequence that I really liked. It was a cool sequence. But yeah, I don't mind that the bombs. I know bombs don't really drop in space. I know that there's no dropping in space. Barty, do you think Disney is choking the Star Wars franchise to its death? No, I wouldn't say so. There is an element of fatigue, right? And this is a video that I made maybe before The Force Awakens came out, man. I think let me look this up. Star Wars fatigue. HelloGreedo. August 5th. I made this video before The Force Awakens came out. August 5th, a video called Star Wars fatigue. And I addressed this. I said this could be an issue, you know? There might be too much Star Wars. And with the Star Wars coming out in like 6 months? With a movie coming out, a Han Solo movie? There could be a little fatigue. There's not going to be the same amount of hype that there was for The Force Awakens or even this movie or Rogue One. It's going to be like the Marvel franchise, you know? At first, I really was enjoying them. I enjoyed watching Captain America. I liked Thor. I liked Iron Man. And as they kept making them and kept making them and kept pumping them out like an assembly line, I just kind of fell out of love and I kind of lost interest. You know, it was just it felt like too much. And I am kind of scared that Star Wars is going to feel that way. I love Star Wars way more than that stuff, though. So I don't think it's going to be an issue for me. But the general public, the average viewer, I think there's going to be the hype is majorly going to die down, which is kind of inevitable. And I don't really mind that it is going to happen. It's a predictable thing. But yeah, I am kind of scared of the Star Wars fatigue. Tony Zotti, what's up, dude? Starisma Tone, hi HG. Your video was balanced to the light and dark side of the Last Jedi argument. We all heart Star Wars. All our opinions matter, but the vitriol and hate aimed at Ryan J is out of order. The guy just wanted to entertain us, just hit wrong notes and places. I completely agree. People need to cool their fucking jets, right? Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Like, if I tweeted this out earlier. What did I say? I said if you're calling someone an idiot for liking/disliking a movie that you liked or disliked, then hey, fucko, you're the idiot. Like, we can all have our own opinions, right? You don't have to just sling shitty remarks across the internet. I don't understand it, man. It's very strange. And it's a bummer. But it is a very loud minority. It is. There's people, obviously, there's a lot of people that dislike the movie, but most people are pretty balanced with their opinions. And from what I've seen, most people are civil about it all. They talk to one another as if they were in front of one another. The problem is people not using their anonymity for good or niceness, you know? Just be nice. Just talk to people as if you were right in front of them. You wouldn't call somebody a dipshit for not liking a movie if they were sitting in front of you. Like, why do you do that on Twitter? It's so dumb. It's so goddamn stupid. But I appreciate that, Tony, and I thank you for the kind words. We got to put a little light into all the hatred and vitriol. And light doesn't mean that you need to like the movie. If you don't like the movie, that's perfectly fine, man. But don't be an asshole. We can have civil discussion, right?
Always.
The Wolfman. I expect Hux to turn on Kylo in Episode 9. Thoughts? I kind of see the flip side of that. I expect Kylo to turn on Hux. I think Kylo is going to realize that Hux is... I mean, at the end of the movie, Hux was just kind of yelling out the same lines as Kylo. Hux kind of realizes that he has a loose cannon by his side, you know?
Great chat.
There's a loose cannon. Kylo Ren is unpredictable. And I think Kylo Ren will eliminate Hux. I think he'll see that Hux is just standing in his way, constantly questioning his decisions. If Snoke is out of power, and I'm in power, Kylo Ren thinks, then what's stopping me from taking this whole damn thing over? Why does Hux even need to be here? I think that'll happen. I think Kylo will put a stop to Hux. Do you think the film will get better over time? SSK 286. SSK 286. I think people will grow to appreciate it more. You know, if you've been following the channel for a long time, you know that the channel has evolved, right? I used to be, I wasn't as angry and pissy and calling people idiots, like people are now, but I was still a little bitter shithead, you know? And I've evolved, and so has the channel. And I don't like the prequels, but I appreciate them for what they are. I don't hate them. I've never hated them. I've never liked them. But I can appreciate them. And I think that aspect of appreciation rather than blind hatred or not blind hatred. You know, people have legitimate criticisms, as do I with this movie. But I think overall, things over time will smooth out, and people will appreciate the movie more over time. I do believe that. I do.
The Force will be with you.
Koba, thank you for the super chat. Give Rey a purple saber. Or is that just for Sam Jackson? I think that would just be for Sam Jackson. Holy shit, Samuel L. Jackson's going to be in my movie? I want to have a purple lightsaber. You got it, Sam. That's pretty much how that went down. So, no, I don't care what color Rey's saber is. It could be clear. I don't care. Rip, R.I.P. Hey, HG, you're awesome. Well, thank you. I'm not, but I appreciate that. Do you think that once Episode 9 is released, people will dislike The Last Jedi? Oh, people that dislike The Last Jedi may look back on it as a good mid-trilogy movie. That's a really interesting point, Rip. That's a really interesting point, you know? Yes, you can judge these movies, and you should judge these movies on a movie-to-movie basis. But at the same time, you're looking at an entire trilogy. So we don't know where things are going for Episode 9. It could absolutely blow people away. I hope it does. And it could justify a lot of the decisions that were in this movie that people had a problem with. So no, that's an interesting way. I haven't thought about it before. Maybe Episode 9 will smooth things over with the people that don't like this movie, and they might see it as, like you said, a good mid-trilogy movie. I dig that. I might have to bring that up in a video. I'm going to take a screenshot of your shit. Creative Channel. What's going on, man? Congrats on being a father. Thank you so much. Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, who didn't watch my review, I'm going to be a dad. Me and my wife are going to have a little girl in April. Dude, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous, man. But at the same time, I've never been happier about something in my entire life. It's just going to be fucking awesome. I cannot wait. I've already got like Star Wars onesies. Like my whole family, obviously they know I love Star Wars, right? So everybody sends Star Wars stuff for my daughter. I love it. It's too cool. But thank you so much, Creative Channel. I really appreciate that. Sam Rowe, HG, how are you? How do you feel about Yoda in The Last Jedi? I liked Yoda a lot in The Last Jedi.
What era should the live-action...
William Aguilar. I'm just kidding. I'm going to keep talking. No, I liked Yoda a lot in The Last Jedi. I had no idea who was going to be in there. In the shot that was behind Yoda, we see the glow of his Force Ghost, or whatever you want to call it. And I was like, oh shit, that's Yoda. And I instantly got excited. If you would have told me that Yoda was in this movie before I saw the movie, I probably would have rolled my eyes and been like, what the fuck? But when I saw him, I got excited. And I thought the use of him was great. Was he necessary in the movie? I think so. He gave Luke a little much needed wisdom about the Jedi texts. They don't really matter. Rey has them anyway, but overall they don't really matter. Page turners they were not. So no, I really liked Yoda in The Last Jedi. Like I said, if you would have told me before the movie that he was in there, I would have thought it was a terrible idea, but it was nice and subtle, no, I appreciated it. I truly did. William Aguilar, on next arc in Clone Wars, include Season 2, Episode 10, Deserter, in the review. I forgot to include it. I think JJ will do well in wrapping 9 up. 7 was too similar for people. 8 was too different. 9 will be just right. That's a good way of looking at it, right? Episode 7 was a New Hope ripoff. Episode 8 is just too goddamn different. It's not what we wanted. Which I loved it. It's what I wanted. I have to be careful with my semantics. I didn't love the movie. I liked it. I liked it a lot. And episode 9 will be just right. Too hot, too cold, just right. That's a cool way of looking at it, William. I think you're right. And I will include Season 2. Let me write it down real quick, because you guys know me and my shitty memory. Shitty memory I have. Season 2, episode 10, Deserter. Next arc. Okay, next arc. Cool. I'll probably be getting to that next arc next week after Christmas. I'm super busy tomorrow with the Patreon Q&A, and then I have some stuff after that to do. And then Friday, I'm actually seeing the movie with my dad. The Last Jedi with my dad. So, but thank you, William. I appreciate that. Clayton Fioriti. Great chat. Quick question. I'm glad you said great chat. I don't know. I haven't been able to look at the goddamn chat, man. It was moving so fast earlier. But I'm glad you're having fun. Why did they give Poe a map to Luke if Luke didn't want to be found? Did I miss something? Who else knew he was there? I've heard this point brought up. And there's and correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know the timeline of things. When did Luke go missing? You know, when, I guess after the Battlefront 2 thing. So Luke has been on, maybe Luke gave the map,
Anakin's ghost must appear in
to Max von Sydow's character, who gave it to Poe, but maybe Luke gave it to those guys way back in the day. Max von Sydow gave it to Poe, you know? Luke didn't give it to Poe. Max von Sydow. So we don't really know unless it's in a book or something. Don't know too much about the characters. I go off the movie. We don't know too much about Max von Sydow's character, but he had the map. So maybe Luke gave him the map way back in the day, and then in the 20, 30 years, however long he's been boiling and sitting and idle on that island, he's changed his tune. You know? There's these maps to his location, but he's just sitting there like, God damn it. Why did I give people those maps? I don't want to be found. I came to this island to die. That's kind of how I see it, you know? It's like you give somebody your phone number, like, way back in the day, and then you're like, fuck! Or your email address. Why do they keep emailing me? I wish I didn't give them my email address. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I saw it. But yeah. The Wolfman, why don't Yoda just kill Kylo with a lightning bolt? Dude, Star Wars, forever and ever, since 1977, has always had plot holes like that, you know? Why aren't there just a shitload of Force ghosts running around? It's Star Wars, man. Sometimes, like, it's good to read into some things, but sometimes it's Star Wars. That's all I can say. Star Wars forever and ever has been filled with plot holes like that, you know, they kind of made it up as they went. They really did. Everybody thought that, you know, everybody thinks that Lucas had this whole thing planned out. No, he didn't. They made it up as they went. Like, you know what I mean? But I appreciate that, Wolfman. It's good to see you as always. Caleb Richardson, what era should the live action show take place? Well, first, really, whenever they want it to, is basically my answer. But where I would want it to take place, honestly, is in the seedy underworld of the original trilogy, like bounty hunters and smugglers that lived in universe. I would love to see that side of Star Wars, just like I don't know, smugglers, bounty hunters, the seedy side, the gamblers, I honestly don't really want any Jedi or anything in the TV show. I want it to just be very grounded. And maybe some bounty hunters or some smugglers are outrunning the Empire because they're trying to get... I don't know. Whatever they do, I'm cool with it. Like I've always said, I want the writers and the directors to have complete freedom. I do not want the fans to dictate what they do. I believe that. Movies, TV shows, all that, they're an artistic endeavor. And, you know, I've never liked the idea of, like, a writer or something like that going into a boardroom full of executives, right? You don't want the executives telling the writers and the comedians what's funny. The comedians and the writers are there because you hired them, because they can write and be funny. And I sometimes see the fandom being that executive boardroom. They're trying to push things in certain directions when you should really leave it to the writers and the directors. That's how I see it. Leave it. It's an artistic endeavor. Let the artistic people be artistic. The Wolfman. Hope your kid will have high midichlorian count. Well, she won't need midichlorians because the Force is not midichlorians. God damn it. Jaegerbaum. Think Finn will try getting other stormtroopers to rebel, like the cave allegory. Finn saw through his brainwashing. Why not others? Go Navy. Hell yeah, go Navy. Possibly. I don't know.
The Force will be with you.
I don't know if Finn will have... Well, that's a good... I could see it going that way. Like Finn putting out a broadcast to all the stormtroopers. Maybe, and then you would see like one defector trying to get away. Almost like North Korea. Did you guys see that insane North Korea video of the North Korean defector escaping over the DMZ into South Korea? Holy shit, that was insane. So maybe it'll be like that. Like you'd have a stormtrooper trying to defect, and all the other stormtroopers would be like, what the hell's going on? And try to stop him. And then you would just see a mad rush of stormtroopers trying to escape this this mind prison almost, this prison of the mind, this dictatorship. It would be kind of interesting. Maybe that's what's going to be fighting against the First Order now that the rebellion or the resistance is kind of decimated. Maybe we'll have an army of stormtrooper defectors who find a rebel camp, and I don't know. That's all speculation. I don't want to get into that. But thank you, Jaeger. I appreciate that. Go Navy. Blurred Lines Entertainment. Anakin's ghost must appear in 9. What do you think? I don't think he must appear. I don't think anything must happen. If it's not in the story, I'm cool with it. If it is in the story, I'm cool with it. I don't know. I don't see any reason why his ghost must appear. I mean, you could say, Vader, why haven't you appeared this whole time? The galaxy's been in chaos. You could have stopped your grandson from being a total asshole. So no, I don't think Anakin's ghost will appear. I don't. That would, people complain about plot holes. That would be another plot hole almost. No, I don't think it must happen. But if they do it, I hope it's subtle and I hope it's done well. And I'm cool with it as long as it makes sense, But I don't think it must be in there. Whew. My throat is so scratchy, ladies and gentlemen. This is by far the most watched HelloGreedo stream. It's kind of neat. A little chaotic at first. SSK286, thank you so much. Do you agree that no one hates Star Wars more than its own fans? I wouldn't, there are some segments of the Star Wars fandom that will hate new stuff no matter what, which is a bummer. It's not a good mindset to have in life, not just Star Wars, but in life in general. But for the most part, I think it's we hold these movies so near and dear to our heart. It's not a hatred, it's a criticism, and we just, we're constantly looking for things. We're constantly wanting to evaluate and analyze things, and sometimes we don't like the things that we analyze. So it's not necessarily a hatred for the vast majority of Star Wars fans, although there are some that will just never like new stuff. I think it's that we like to poke holes. We like to figure things out. We like to dream of what could have been in place of what we were disappointed with, There is an ownership that Star Wars fans feel over the trilogy. Or not the trilogy, but the saga. And I get that ownership. I understand it. In a way, I agree with it. But yeah. A flexing Jesus. What's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Casino scene sucked. I agree. That whole subplot, I get why it's there. I do not like the execution. I like it in theory. I did like DJ's character, although, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, the casino Bight plot, it wasn't for me. It didn't do anything for me. there was really no interesting scenes in the entire sequence. Riding space horses. I like the message overall. Basically a military-industrial complex message. There is no such thing as good guys or bad guys. They're just words. They're making weapons for the good guys and the bad guys. I like that aspect of it. That's pretty much the only aspect of it. And those lines could have been delivered anywhere in the movie, right? They didn't have to be in this goofy-ass casino. But yeah, just the way it was done, that subplot, I could have completely done without. But yeah, it distracted the rest of the movie. The rest of the movie was very interesting. There was some really interesting stuff going on. And every time we went to the casino, Canto Bight, the movie just kind of, I just kind of like, come on. Get back to the good stuff, you know? Unicorn Extreme GT. Thank you so much. Ryan Johnson, J.J. Abrams, George Lucas, Richard Marquand, or Irving Kershner to direct all the films. The choice is yours. Oh, god damn. I mean, Kershner directed what could be considered the best sequel of all time. Could be considered and is vastly and widely considered the best Star Wars movie of all time. Empire Strikes Back. So with that in mind, I might have to go with Irving Kershner. Because it would have been neat to see what he came up with for Return of the Jedi, you know? But I like the idea of Star Wars being directed by a bunch of people. Original trilogy, 3 directors, 3 movies. Prequel trilogy, 1 director. Sequel trilogy, what we're getting right now, 2 directors. And then the anthology films, a whole bunch of directors. I like it. Keeps things fresh. You might not like one director's vision, but you might like the next director's vision. I like it. I like the idea of giving the opportunity to writers and directors to make their own vision come to life. It breeds variety. It breeds originality. It keeps things fresh. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe Irving Kershner. Long story short. Patrick Ward. What's up, Patrick? I thought the point of the Canto... I thought the point of the casino plot line was that it was pointless because Poe's plan failed. It deconstructs the impossible odds trope, enhancing Poe's arc of not always being a hero. What do you think? Oh, 100% agree with that. Sometimes shit does not work out. That could be... I mean, that could be the subtitle of the subplot of the Canto Bight subplot. Sometimes shit just does not work out. And you can't be all gung-ho about some things. On that level, I do appreciate it for showing that aspect that some things don't work out all the time, but inevitably they do work out in the end, because Finn and Rose somehow survive the giant explosion, and then Finn battles Captain Phasma, and then she falls in the fire. But no, I completely agree with that. I get it on a on a story level. I don't like the execution of it. But I appreciate that, Patrick. I completely see what you're saying, and I agree with it. But like I said, the execution of it, the way it was spliced into far more interesting scenes, I could have done without it. The Wolfman. Admiral Akbar should have got the Lightspeed kill. See, this kind of goes back to... I agree with somebody maybe more important than Holdo, somebody that, like a Leia or an Akbar, somebody that we know. It would have been neat to see that self-sacrifice from them. Give a character that we love a nice send-off. Because Holdo could have been a holdover for the next film. In charge of everything. Now that her and Poe, I guess, see eye to eye. Poe kind of understands where she was coming from. There's not so much vitriol and hatred among them, or between them now. Even though Poe didn't get to see her after she blowed herself up. But, No, if anyone, I think it should have been Leia. And no, not because Carrie Fisher is dead in real life. It's not because she's gone. That's not why I think it should have been Leia. I think overall, if Carrie Fisher was still alive, I think the scene would still be just as powerful if Leia sacrificed herself for the greater good in this epic light speed missile, which was an awesome scene, by the way. But yeah. Movie Critic Dude, be sure to not forget my DA pick on your Twitter. I have it pulled up right here. I'm going to check it out right after the stream. I appreciate that, man. I'll retweet it out, too. Oh, it's not done yet, right? I'll retweet the final version. How about that?
The Force will be with you. Always.
Liking more Anakin and prequel.
But I appreciate that,
Clone Wars.
Movie Critic Dude. I truly do. All right, guys, this is going to be my last super chat. I actually got to go. I've been going for an hour and 21 minutes. I did not expect this huge viewership. Crazy. But I guess people want to talk about TLJ. Blurred Lines Entertainment, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support, man. Liking Anakin and prequel era with Clone Wars. Oh, yeah. For those of you guys who don't know, I've only recently started watching the Clone Wars. Yeah, you're a shitty Star Wars fan. Yeah, I know. No, I recently started watching the Clone Wars. Maybe I don't know how many months ago, but no, I'm really enjoying it. It's adding layers to Anakin, Obi-Wan, even General Grievous. These characters that, you know, they kind of fell flat for me in the prequels, Dooku even. There's so much more they can do in a TV show. They kind of have an advantage over the films because they can go a lot more in depth with things. So yes, overall, I am enjoying every character more in the Clone Wars. You know, even still, if they made a TV show about the original trilogy, I would like every character more because of that, because it adds layers to the characters, you know? But yes, Blurred Lines Entertainment, I am really digging the Clone Wars, and seeing Anakin and his Padawan Ahsoka, seeing Obi-Wan and him continuously butt heads, Anakin going against orders, being kind of like a loose cannon. It's really interesting, and yeah, I'm digging it, man. Truly digging it. All right, guys, I got to jet. I got to jet. But yeah, I really appreciate this. I'd like to do this again. Talk about The Last Jedi. Talk about some other stuff, maybe. But yeah, let me pull something up real quick. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed The Last Jedi. If you didn't, that's a bummer. It hurts me. It hurts my soul. I wish everybody could like the movie. But the thing is, you'll never have a Star Wars movie that everyone likes. It's impossible. So all we can do is, like I said in my last video, you just got to sit back, watch the movies, make your own opinion. Don't listen to my opinions. Make your own opinions. You know? I'm just saying what I think. It shouldn't influence the way you think unless you find some value in it, I guess. Unless, I don't know. But don't let other reviewers dictate what you think about the movie. Don't let public opinion dictate what you think about the movie. If you liked it, fucking awesome. If you didn't like it, that's a bummer. But there'll be another one. And 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 another one. So stupid. Thanks, Liam. All right, guys, I got to get going. Let me run down the list. Blurred Lines Entertainment, thank you for the super chat. Movie Critic Dude, thank you for the super chat and the DA picture. I'll check that out and I'll retweet that out. The Wolfman, thank you for the super chat. Patrick Ward, thank you for the super chat. Unicorn Extreme GT, thank you for the super chat. A Flexing Jesus, thank you for the super chat. SSK286, thank you for the super chat. Jaegerbomb, thank you for the super chat. The Wolfman, thank you for the super chat. Caleb Richardson, thank you for the super chat. Clayton Fioriti, thank you for the super chat. William Aguilar, thank you for the super chat. Sam Rowe, thank you for the super chat. Creative Channel, thank you for the super chat. Rip, thank you for the super chat. Koba, thank you for the super chat. PT, oh, I didn't see Petey. Thank you, Petey. I didn't see, there was no message there, but I appreciate that silent support, man. I truly do. Thank you so much. Sarisma Tone, Tony Zotti, thank you for the super chat. Barty, thank you for the super chat. Johnny the Fed, thank you for the super chat. Kyle McGowan, thank you for the super chat. Ryan Harp, thank you for the super chat. Some Dude, thank you for the super chat. Cap Coldblood, thank you for the super chat. Movie Critic Dude, again, thank you for the super chat. Barty, Koba, thank you for the super chat. I got you guys already. Batyard Productions, thank you for the super chat. iMike1994, thank you for the super chat. Nicholas Vidal, thank you for the super chat. Rage Phase, thank you for the super chat. Nine Nut, thank you for the super chat. Brian Pimentel, thank you for the super chat. This is getting ridiculous. Gus Saber, thank you for the super chat. YTP Mania, thank you for the super chat. Brian Lebert, thank you for the super chat. Spider Short Films, thank you for the super chat. Commander Creed, thank you for the super chat. Cancer Cell 101, Tidy Wire, Storm, Cole Schreiber. There's a lot more than I thought. Batyard. Is that everybody? Philippe, thank you for the super chat. Some Guy, thank you for the super chat. Darth Revan, thank you for the super chat. And Chris Lawson, thank you for the super chat. Richard Vaughan, thank you for the super chat. Arcadia, thank you for the super chat. And that is it. All right, guys. As always, enjoy the song at the end of my streams. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. I'm going to be doing a stream tomorrow for patrons, for supporters only. You can tune in, but you won't be able to chat. I'll be just basically answering questions that were submitted to me on my Patreon. So if you want to kick back, if you're at work or something like that, and you want to listen to something for a few hours, tune in. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like I said, I hope you liked The Last Jedi. If you didn't, that's a bummer to me. I wish you did. But hey, there'll be a next one. And a next one. I'm not going to do that again. All right. See ya.
So be it, Jedi.
Don't be too proud of this terror you've constructed.
Rush, run swift. This is the land. Possible governors.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Rush, run swift. This is the land. Possible governors. The Jedi are all but extinct. Rush, run swift. This is the land. Possible governors.
See you guys.